Hello, this is Dr. Valerie Bennett, and I'm the Robotics Ministry Coordinator for the Scholastic Motivation Ministries. And today, in this video, we will share with you where to find the resources, how to get your team started to be super successful from the very beginning, and how you can share with them how to program and put together their Space Challenge mission sets. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so in the first video, we shared with you how to download the EV3 Teacher Edition software, as well as the Space Challenge Missions Activity Pack. So if you haven't done that already, make sure you look at that first video and you'll see how we actually get to the screen. Okay, so I'm going to just share with you some of the details, some of the resources that are here for you. So the first thing you should do, guess what? Click on Start Here. You're going to click on that. And what happens actually with all of these, if you click on that, the icons or the parts that you will have access to are already kind of highlighted. So if I were to click on New Project, you will see New Program, New Experiment, so on and so forth. All of those subcategories are here on the right side. So I'm going to go back to Start Here. Okay, so it says Prepare. So let's click on that. All right, so you should already hopefully have your EV3 kit. You can have the core set or the extended kit. Either one is fine to work with the team. But if you click on Prepare, I'm going to click over here and you can go over to Open. So this is going to share with you how to put your kit together, because it kind of comes in all of those plastic bags as you see in the picture, and it's like, okay, what do I do with this? How do I properly inventory this? And what you'll see is that there are about 9 pages that it'll step you through how to put this together. So I'm just going to kind of quickly kind of just skim through many of these pages, but this tells you how to get started. So it says, let's prepare. And you should have stickers in there. This is so important. I can't stress how important it is to keep your parts organized. Make sure your team is keeping up with this. Perhaps you want to assign someone who's going to be the inventory manager to make sure that you're not missing any pieces, because it can be very frustrating as you're putting together your robot and you have, just pieces all over the floor. So make that one of your goals, to make sure you keep up with the parts. So it's showing you how to sort it into the different bins. And on the back of those like cardboard sheets that come on the top of your kit when you first open it, you can use those pictures as guidelines, and it'll have the quantities on there as well. Okay, so that's putting your kit together. This is how you can begin to now charge the battery. Of course, you can use regular batteries, but it is so much more efficient to use the rechargeable battery. So it's showing you how to put that in there. Okay, oh, let me go back here. If you hover over, some of these are short videos. So I'm just going to click on. It shows you exactly what to do. It's so amazing. Everything is there for you. It shows you how to put that in. Then you plug it in and you charge it. Okay, there you go. And then once it's done charging, it'll turn green. Okay, there you go. So super, super straightforward. It tells you exactly what to do. Okay, I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot, but it really does once you start clicking on to the different resources here. Powering on, okay, labeling your box and its parts. This is great, especially if you have more than one kit that your team may be using. You may have, more than one team in your church or your jurisdiction. So it's great to be able to keep up with the parts, okay? So if you only have one kit, you don't have to worry about this, but just something else to kind of keep you organized, okay? And then renaming your brick, okay? This is especially important if you are using more than one brick for your team, which is allowed. So when you're programming, you may have certain programs to go on, let's say brick one or team two. And of course, you can press on the video and it'll show you how to do that. Okay. But it's not required to rename the brick. Okay. And then it shows you on the help what these particular icons will mean. Okay. Very helpful stuff there. And then it says that's it. And then let's try it. Okay. And again, another step by step. Again, you're just getting started. What do some of these icons mean? And then you see there are 15 steps here. Won't go through all of those, but again, it's kind of guiding you through exactly what to do. You're going to have these color-coded, I guess, programming channels or programming icons to pull. It's like drag and drop, drag and drop. Okay, so this one is for action, motion of the motors, motion. You can, it tells you what ports, so you can change the ports, so on and so forth. So it basically steps you through what all of these color-coded icons mean. I'm going to delete those off of there. You're going to have your flow control, your sensors, your data operations, your advanced operations, as well as my blocks. And these are like subroutines that you create, perhaps things that you use, more than once, and you can create your own customized blocks. Okay, so that's the let's try. Okay, so incredible. So I'm going to go back to lobby. That's where it's like your foundation, right? Where um, all of the information, all of the what am I trying? All of the different icons there that are needed for you to kind of get started. Okay, so that's under just the prepare. We haven't even, gotten to the try. Okay, so we click on the try. So this is kind of what the next thing we went to, the let's try. Okay, so it took us into the next one. So I'm going back to the lobby. Then the use. All right, we are ready to build a robot. Okay, so that's what the use is for. Then you have to click on the open over here. And guess what that's going to do? It's going to take you step by step how to guide you through building a very basic driving base. Believe it or not, this will take no time to put together. So there it goes. Okay, so step by step, what to put together, all of that is there. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go back to lobby. And then your end product will be this space robot, which is fantastic. You can do so much with this space robot. And then let's go to next steps. All right, this will get into what all the motors, the sensors will actually do, which is a great thing for your team to get involved in. Sometimes the mentors do actually do all of this on their own before they let the team do it. Whichever model works best for your team, go ahead and do that. Just know that your team will be putting this together and at least know where to give them or show them, where to find the resources. Okay, so you can do it as a mentor or your team can do this on their own, whatever works for you all. Okay. All right, so before I get into new project, I'm going to scroll down to our space challenge. Let me open that. Okay, now let's get into how do you put your missions together. You get a big long box with your mat. You get, the cellophane parts. It's just a lot of things. How do you put all that together? So if you click on the space challenge again, you would have had to download this after you download the regular EV3 Teacher Edition. So I'm going to scroll down here. You see Teacher's Guide, Gears, Learning Missions, Challenge Missions, Research Project. I'm going to go all the way down to Challenge Building Instructions. Okay, so let's start with communications station. And then I'm going to scroll over here to the right and go to open. This is how you put the missions together. Okay, this is how you put them together. So it says 1 of 1. That just means this is the communication station. But we have actually 43 steps. I know it's a lot, but the kids, you, whoever wants to put it together, it is a lot of fun. I remember doing this and I just had a ball putting it together. So the great thing about all of these building instructions, it tells you that it tells you the piece, the number, and how to put it together. So you're going to have 2 of those pieces. That's what the 2 times mean. And then 1 of these. And this is that number 11. It refers to the number of holes. Okay. And it tells you exactly where to put those in. Okay. Step 2. I'm going to need 2 of these of the 11 holes. And it shows you exactly how and where to put them together. So you just go step by step putting those together. Okay, all the way to 43 steps. You're going to feel so accomplished when you finish each of these missions, okay? So it's going to be awesome. So you go there. All right, so I'm going to close that one out. Actually, I'll just go back to the lobby. And you go to the flight crew. So you just build out, of course, go to open. So you just build out each of the missions. All right, there, that's where you find them. And it's so wonderful. So you're going to have 8 of these to put together. Okay, the rock samples, I think that's the easiest one to put together. I remember doing that. We're just going to click on that. See, it's only 8 steps. Look at that. Just really fun, really easy to do. All right. So you're going to put together all of your missions. Okay. All right, there are 8 of them. And that's where you find all the building instructions. They do not come in the box. That's what a lot of teams may think, but they're not there. You actually have to get it through the download. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to go back up here now. Okay. I'm going to say a little bit more about the space challenge. All right. So Teacher's Guide. Okay, now this has more of curriculum related information. If you really like to get more into some of the things related to space, which is a great teaching tool, great teaching guide. But I want to go to the basics of gears. Okay, all right. So here are some short videos about how the gearing works. Gear model. This is something that's, again, really cool in terms of learning how to use the robot. What can the robot do? All right. Again, if you have more time on the front end before you get into the challenges. Learning missions. This is another great thing that I would recommend that your team does. Again, if you're starting, early in the year, you have a lot more time to get into some of the details about, okay, how can I really make this robot have maximum programming ability? How can I make sure it's efficient? How can I make sure I just maximize what the robot can do? So this gives you how to do color detection, how to detect an object with your motion sensors. These are the things over in the learning missions part that would allow you to get even higher scoring points in our rubrics that we use for the robot competition. This will really enable you to get those extra points where we score you for strategy, where we score you for a different or a more advanced use of the programming. Okay, so the learning missions will really help to enhance your scoring. Okay, are these required to use a color sensor? No, it's not required. Is it required to use a follow the line part in your programming? No, it's not required, but it will give you those extra, the advance, the edge in terms of the scoring. Not required, but it will definitely enhance how your robot will operate. Okay, but again, it takes more time to do it, but want to share with you where those tips are. Okay, and again, here's a short video and it shows you how to program it. It's awesome. Okay, so let's go to now the challenge missions. So we have the space challenge rules. Okay, we have, let me go ahead and open one of these to activate communications, like what's in there. Okay, so we showed you how to, well, I'll actually go back here. Okay, we'll take that part, that small part out. Okay, so let's go, let me start over. So for the challenge missions, these rubrics here are not the ones that we're going to be using for the actual competition. This is something that a lot of schools use when they have, again, a lot more time to work with the students. So we don't actually use these rubrics. Our actual rubrics for the competition are given on our Kojic SMM website. So for the competition, do not follow those rubrics. Something more so that teachers use in school. All right. So I'm going to skip down to research projects. All right. So here's another fun part. Again, not required for your team to do. Some teams actually do the projects and not the robot competition. And we have some teams that do the robot competition and not the research project. I will say that again, this was reiterated in one of my previous videos, that in order to be eligible for the best overall team, you have to both compete in the robotics competition as well as have a research project. So this is a way again that your team will be eligible to receive the top prize. Okay, so you have to perform well in both. You don't have to win both of them, but you have to have a strong showing in both the robot competition as well as a strong project to be even eligible to receive the best overall team. Okay, this is where you find the information. So you have some choices here. You can choose the project, How Can Humans Survive in Space? How do we generate energy for human outposts? And how can robots help humans explore? So decide which research project that you would like to explore. You cannot choose the same research project. If you are a returning team, you can't choose the same project for a consistent year. Okay, we can't have those recycle projects going on. So make sure it's a new project that you have selected. Okay, and here, and the rubrics for these are on the Kojic website. We'll make sure we have links at the bottom of this video so you'll have it right at your fingertips. But you'll have it both places on the Kojic SMM website as well as at the bottom of this video. All right, so that's where the research projects are. Okay, all right, so we went over how to build the challenge, how to build the different missions. So you'll have that. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so you have that. Now, I'm going to click on Extension Building Instructions. All right, so this is the biggest, most exciting place that I can share with you that is part of the resources that you'll have on the, as part of the Space Challenge EV3 Teacher Edition. Now, I'm clicking on the space driving base. This should look very familiar. This is very similar to what you've built before under the Let's Get Started at the very, let me just slide up here. Let me keep going. Under the Start Here, This video is very, very similar. I mean, this robot base is very, very similar to the one that you have built as part of that very first driving base. So I'm clicking down back to the space challenge. Let me go down to the extension building instructions. Guess what this has for us? This actually shows you how to build the robot and how to put the various motors on your robot in order to complete the challenges. Why would they have that on there? Well, you can use this one or two ways. You can have your students, have your team, as they're working to figure out their strategy, they can figure out a lot of this on their own. Make sure you're giving them enough time to think through the problems, think through the challenges. But if you want to provide some guidance for them, you are more than welcome to have them build what is here. Okay? The point is to have them not just be successful, but to also be able to learn, be able to figure out the solution, be able to make it better. Because we as judges, we already know this information is here, but we want to see how they can even enhance it even more. Okay, so here are the instructions for building the base model. Okay, I'm just clicking through and it shows them step by step. Okay, and their end result will be, go back to the lobby, will be the space driving base. What you'll find in the rest of these here is that all of the sensors, the ultrasonic sensor, the color sensor, those will be attached to this base. And it'll make the robot, it'll have the ability to do all of the mission challenges. And I'm sharing this with everyone. Why? Because I want everyone to be successful. I want to see those teams just be highly motivated. I want them to know that they can achieve these goals. Okay, so clicking on the sensor. Okay, how do you add the color sensor? Okay, it shows you step by step. It's pretty easy, making sure it goes into the right channel. Okay, going back to the lobby. So all of these are here. What's the best way to collect the moon rocks? Okay, here's the attachment. It shows you how to build it and how to put it on. Okay, many of the teams figure out how to do this even without knowing that this information is there. How do you check for the crew? Okay, here it is. Okay, how do you figure out how to take care of that satellite module? What about the solar? This is maybe one of the more challenging ones, but once you put it onto your base driving model, you will see how to program this so efficiently. Okay, so I'm excited to share all these with you. And here is how you can, this is basically a big hammer, how to do the launcher and launch the robot into orbit. Okay, so this extension building instructions, absolutely phenomenal. Okay, all right. So again, I just want to share with you how to find the resources for building. Okay, what about for programming? I'll share that with you in the next video.